Here's the thing. We live in a time and a culture where we think we have the full freedom to say whatever we want, however we want, to whoever we want, and that there won't be consequences, or at least not ones that we will directly feel. And that can't be further from the truth. So, did you know that God has a lot to say about our words? He really does. The Bible has a lot to say about our words because they have the power of life and death. So we're going to start by looking in the book of James. We're going to look in James chapter 1, verse 19. It says this: "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires." Ooh, James knows how to say it. He knew that the church back then needed that lesson, and we as the church today also still need this lesson. Why? Because we like to respond right away, right? We like to give a quick word. We feel like we've got something to say, or maybe it's because of social media now, that pressure. Does anyone else feel it? You better take a side. You better post something, say something, make it known where you stand, right? Y'all, I'm here to tell you, we can't say whatever we want, however we want, to whomever we want. And that's because what we say matters, how we say things matter, and who we say things to matters. Did you know that the true essence of a blessing are words of excellence connected to value and not performance? So how can you speak words of value to those around you? Y'all, my dad was so good at this. So he's Persian, and that means that he is opinionated and loud. And this meant that our correction came swift and hard as a kid. And let me tell you, I got a lot of it, okay? But here's something else that was happening in our home. Is my dad, I knew he was proud of me. I always knew, because he said it all the time. He said it so much that in my teenage years, with my classic teenage eye roll, "Dad, I know you're proud of me, Dad." But he kept saying it, and he kept saying it, and he still says it to this day, and it still means so much. It speaks value to my soul. And now he says it to my husband, and he says it to my kids, and now they're eye rolling him again, and he still does it, and he still does it, and he's speaking life into who we are. That is what God does. That's what he wants us to do. This series isn't just a good self-help series or a hashtag Be Kind initiative. Y'all, this is bigger than kindness. This is about speaking life or death over people. It's about the roots planted in our hearts and the kind of fruit that comes from it that we have to offer the world, and hopefully our fruit looks different. This is the kingdom of heaven come to earth in and lived out through us and our words. So listen, you can work really hard to change your behavior and implement some new practices, but real change comes from the heart, and this is what Jesus was trying to say. So another good question to ask is, how do I fill my heart with something better than what seems to naturally flow out of it? Real heart change comes from staying close to Jesus. It means filling our hearts and minds and bodies with heavenly things. I love how Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things." Another translation says, "Dwell on these things." Dwell means to live in, to reside, to stay for a while. It means removing some things that maybe don't fit in these categories and adding in new practices that connect your heart more with Jesus. So I don't know what it is for you that you need to shift so that you can find that time to fill your heart with the things of the Lord so that what flows out of you is more than I'm just saying, right?